In this lesson, I want to explain what the genitive case is. It's the fourth and final case, and it's used in German to show possession. In English, you use possession by with using apostrophe s's. You say the teacher's car, and that shows whose car it is. In German, we don't have apostrophe s. So we take the phrase in reverse, and we say the car of the teacher. And that new word des is the word of the. Another example, the girl's birthday. We don't have the apostrophe s, so we say the birthday of the des Mädchens. I want to show you the definite article chart. It has a new row. It has the genitive case at the bottom because the genitive shows possession. And the articles are as follows. If the word is masculine, it'll be des, meaning of the. A feminine word will be der, of the. Des for neuter words, meaning of the, and der, meaning of the. Instead of just the, these words in genitive mean of the because you're showing possession. Here I've taken the genitive row off of the der chart and added underneath it the genitive case, what happens to words that are ein words. That includes ein and all the words that rhyme with ein, and all the possessives like mein, dein, sein, ihr, sein, unser, euer, and ihr. They take all these endings. And if we compare the two rows, we'll notice that all the endings match. Des matches eines. Einer matches der. Eines matches des. And in plural, einer matches der. So if you know how to match, you can do that fairly simple. It's easiest just to learn des, der, and then everything has to rhyme with it. You'll notice that there's some extra s's in the masculine and in the neuter. That's because in genitive case, down here I've highlighted that one syllable nouns will add an s if they're masculine or neuter, and if the noun is masculine or neuter and more than one syllable, it will have an s. Okay? The way that I remember that is to say if it's a short word, it can take a longer ending. One syllable words are short. They'll take es, and longer words you don't want to make any longer, so they will just add an s. Now let's try some examples. We've got our two rows of the genitive case up above, both the words for the and the word for a, or any other word that shows possession. And I have the phrase the book and the teacher. And what I want to say is the book of the teacher. The book is going to stay the same. It's this of the word that's going to change. Okay, so this is a masculine word. I go up here to my chart, and that's going to change to des. This is a two-syllable word, and because it's longer, I'm just going to add an s, and that becomes das Buch des Lehrers. In the second example, I have the radio and I have the girl. Radio will still be the same. What I want to say is I want to say the radio of the girl. Radio stays the same. Mädchen is a neuter word. So I come up here to my chart and I choose des instead of das because I'm saying the radio of the girl. And this again is a two-syllable word and it's a little bit longer, so I just add s. Das Radio des Mädchens. In the third example, I want to say the trip of my grandma. In English, you'd be saying my grandma's trip, but it's reversed. So we start with the trip. That word will stay the same. Reise will stay the same. But my grandma, now notice that this is an ein word. Okay, and again, this is new because grandma is feminine. So I jump up here to the feminine chart and I say, instead of saying meine, I'm going to say meiner. And it's going to end in that. It's going to say of my grandmother. And you'll end up with die Reise meiner Oma. In the fourth example, I have die Klarinette, and I want to say of my friend. Okay, and so Klarinette stays the same. Friend, I say that's a masculine friend, and I'm using an ein word. So I find that, and mine will rhyme with that. So I'll say die Klarinette meines, and Freund is one syllable. Yeah, it's very short to say Freund. So I'll pick the s, and my phrase is die Klarinette meines Freundes. Let's try some more. The name of the visitor. And you can hear yourself saying of the, and that's where genitive case comes in. If you hear yourself saying of the, you know you're in genitive case. Name stays the same. Besucher is a masculine word. I jump up here and find, instead of saying der, I'm going to say des. Besuchers, 2 syllables, so add an S, der Name des Besuchers. In the second example, I want to say the end of the day. And if you hear yourself saying of the day, you're in genitive case. Ende stays the same. Tag is masculine. I jump up here to der Tag and wind up saying das Ende des Tages. I added the ES to Tag because Tag is 1 syllable. It's a short word. It can take the longer ending. In the third example, we have the color and we have his bike. And when I say the color of his bike, and you hear yourself saying of his instead of just saying his, that's the marker that you're in genitive case. The color stays the same. Bike is a neuter word. Okay, it's an ein word. It rhymes. So I end up saying die Farbe seines, get that ES right here, Rades, ES, because it's a short word, 1 syllable. I want to say the age of her son. Okay, age stays the same. This is an ein word. It's not a der word, it's an ein word. And son is masculine. So I end up here and I go, the age ihres, I get that from here, ihres, Sohn is 1 syllable, Sohnes, das Alter ihres Sohnes. All of these words that I've chosen here are masculine and neuter, and they will all add S or ES in the phrase. If I had chosen these words to be feminine or plural, there would be no S on those words. For example, I have the number of students, and Schüler is a plural word. So I take die Zahl of the students. Okay, I'm coming up here. It's a der word, and I change the die to der, meaning of the, but I don't need to add an S because it's feminine, because this is a plural word, and neither feminine nor plural words add the S to that final noun. Now here's your chance. Here's another chance for you to do some examples. In English we say my brother's friend. If you were to explain that in Genetiv in German, you'd have to put it in reverse and say the friend, and the isn't there, you have to invent friend. You have to know that friend is a masculine word. The friend of my brother. You should pause here, maybe try it on your own first. The answer to that question would be der Freund meines Bruders. The friend of my brother. Brother is masculine. I got that ending from up here. Minus, and I put an S on Bruder because it's a 2 syllable word. The next example is my mom's job, and I used die Arbeit as the word job. You should pause and try it on your own. My answer came up to be the job of my mother. So I took die Arbeit and I used Mutter as a feminine word, my mother. The ending should rhyme with der, meiner Mutter. No S on Mutter because it's feminine. The next example is the teacher's room. I used das Zimmer for the room. You should pause and try it on your own. The answer that I came up with is das Zimmer meines Lehrers. You could say, I see here I used meines Lehrers. Your answer probably says des Lehrers, which is a better answer. I said my teacher's room. But the answer really should be des Lehrers. And if you chose a female teacher, der or meiner Lehrerin. The end of the period, okay? I used, the end is the word das Ende, and period is the word die Stunde, okay? So you're going to say the end of the period. Pause here and give it a try on your own. The answer that I came up with is das Ende der Stunde. Stunde is a feminine word. It ends in E. That's how I came up with der. Finally, I have about 8 examples of here for you to practice with the genitive chart up above. Give them a try, pause the recording, and when you're done, I will advance this start the recording again, and I will show you the answers on the next slide, just a way for you to practice. And the answers to the last slide. If you need more help after school, I'm there Tuesdays and Thursdays.